Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then welcome. My name's Christina, and on my channel we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So before you go, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave any comments that you have for me down below. If you guys are not new here, then you will notice that we are in a brand new setup. So I've been playing with a new live backdrop, and I've been vlogging, kind of organizing my makeup behind me and building out a vanity. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna post that just to switch it up a little bit. If that's something that you guys are usually interested in, like kind of like a makeup collection vlog type of video, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm still a little undecided if I'm going to post it, because I'm just not really sure if that's something that you guys are interested in. But anyways, aside from that, I just wanted to note that let me know what you think of the backdrop. I'm still kind of playing around with the things that are behind me and kind of the orientation of everything. So yeah, just let me know what you think. Miss Charlotte Tilbury came out with brand new liquid lipsticks, and I have 4 of them right here, exactly half of the collection. I purchased them on Charlotte Tilbury's website, and we're going to talk about all the specs. I'm going to wear them blurred as well as fully pigmented on the lips, and we're going to talk about my first impressions and who I would recommend these to. So if you're interested in seeing any of that, then let's get started. The shades I have for you guys today are the shades Nude Blur, Pillow Talk Medium Blur, Walk of No Shame Blur, and Flame Blur. I thought Flame Broiler when I just said that. Do you guys have a Flame Broiler close to you? I love Flame Broiler. Anyways, so I'm on their website right now, and these retail for $35 each. There are 8 shades. Like I said, I picked up 4 of them. It says that these are weightless, modern, matte meets moisture liquid lipsticks, and it's supposed to be an airbrush effect for your lips. It says it's a new one-of-a-kind unique powder blur technology, and it has hyaluronic acid, visibly smooths, blurs, mattifies, hydrates in just one swipe. In the pictures, they do have it where it's kind of concentrated on the center of the lips and then it's blurred out, and they also have photos of it completely on the lips. So I'm gonna do all of those for you today. Hopefully these don't stain too badly. I'm gonna go ahead and unbox them. I'm actually pretty excited to try these. I'm always hopeful when I see that a matte liquid lipstick claims to be hydrating as well. Here are all the shades that I picked up. Really beautiful packaging. It has a lot of detailing on that handle right there, as well as very lightly frosted tubes. So very excited. They are pretty weighty, so that's good. So I'm going to start off with all of the shades kind of blurred out, and we're going to begin with the shade Nude Blur. This is described as a true nude liquid lipstick. Let's go ahead and do a quick swatch on the back of the hand. Ooh, that's very pretty actually. So the doe foot is pretty interesting. It does have a slight curve on the very tip, if you guys can see that. So it's not like a hard angle like some other doe foots are, and it seems to kind of get wider in the middle and then taper out on the top and the bottom. It does have a scent to it. It is a slightly sweet scent. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip in again. And what we're gonna do is we are going to focus this on the center of the lip, like I said, and kind of just blur it out to begin with. Okay. Oh, it feels very whipped. If you guys know me, you know I love a whipped liquid lipstick formula. Moussey whipped formulations are always my favorite when it comes to liquid lipsticks. Oh, this is really pretty. It looks very, very subtle on its own on my lips. You can definitely see it still. I'm gonna add a little bit more just so I can blend it out a bit more. I feel like this would be stunning with a lip liner, like a darker brown lip liner. Okay, so this is what Nude Blur looks like on me when it's blurred out. I think that this will look stunning with a darker brown liner, like kind of surrounding it and kind of going into the inner corners, you know, and becoming sort of like an ombre or gradient effect with this. I think that would be so beautiful. Okay, and now let's put this on full pigmentation on the lips. All right, this is what Nude Blur looks like fully pigmented on the lips, and actually this looks like a true nude shade on me. It's definitely a warmer nude on my skin tone, which actually I think I like better than if it were a cool nude, because I feel like this doesn't wash me out as much as a cool nude would. And the way that this texture feels, you can definitely feel a layer of moussey liquid lipstick on it. It doesn't feel like it's absorbing into the lips. It kind of feels like for lack of a better term, it kind of feels like a moussey film that's on the lips. Not saying that that's a bad thing, but you can definitely feel the liquid lipstick on there, but it's not uncomfortable for me. And I also feel like because it seems to have a little bit more of a thicker film on it, it's kind of blurring my lips more. Feels really smooth when I rub my lips together. It almost has a silicone-like feeling to it. I feel like this would be such a good color to wear when I'm doing more of a bold eye look and I want my lips to be more muted. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if I can think of any other shade that is this sort of texture as well as this color. And I'm drawing a blank. That's a really pretty color. I'm excited to play around with that one more. Comes off pretty easily. Now again, I only wear these for a couple minutes whenever I do these types of videos, so keep that in mind. It may fade very differently than if you wipe it away like I do in the span of a couple of minutes. As always, I will be updating the description box down below for you guys with a little bit of a mini review on the wear of them. Okay, next we have Pillow Talk Medium Blur. They also have just a regular traditional Pillow Talk shade, but I did the medium blur because the regular Pillow Talk, I believe, is a little bit too light pink for my liking. This one is described as a berry pink. Ooh, I'm really excited about this one. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. Gonna wear it on the center and blur it out. Ooh. Okay, here is Pillow Talk Medium Blur, and honestly, I feel like maybe I didn't do as much of a blurring type of look as I wanted to. I tried to put a little bit more on the center, but I honestly feel like I blended it too far out into the corners than I wanted to. But in doing that, I can tell you guys, it's very pigmented. You don't need a lot to cover the entire lips, especially if you're gonna wear it kind of sheared out and blurred like this. But this color, very pretty. It's a very approachable berry pink, I would say. I feel like this texture could kind of pass off as almost like a natural, just hydrated looking lip versus something like a gloss where it's obviously a lip gloss, you know? All right, and now let's go in full pigmentation on the lips. This doe foot is quite skinny and it's also a little bit more stiff, so you definitely can get very precise with it, but you can't very quickly apply it, you know, and get like one swipe across the lips. Are all of the Pillow Talk mediums like this shade? Because this is really pretty. I do not tend to gravitate towards berry shades. You guys know that. I like my pinky browns a lot. I like my pinky brown neutral shades, you know, but berries are not really my jam. And this one is kind of making me question that because I love how this kind of looks like a muted berry tone on myself, but it still adds a little bit of brightness to the skin tone, especially right now because I am a little bit more tan and I think that this shade is so complimentary. I know that people just rave about the Pillow Talk shades, and I, for one, have never really deep dove into them, but man, if all the medium Pillow Talks are like this, I may have to reconsider. It does definitely stain a little bit on the back of the hand, so I feel like these would fade fairly nicely. As you can see, that one is Pillow Talk Medium Blur, and then Nude Blur is right there. I had to kind of rub at it a little bit to get it off. Oh my gosh, did I have lipstick on my teeth? I think I may have. Okay, next we have Walk of No Shame Blur. I believe it used to be Walk of Shame, but they changed the name, but I believe the shade is the same. While the last shade was a berry pink, this one is a berry red shade. All right, same thing, just going to try to only wear this on the center. I think I did it. Oh, I think I did it. Wow, that's really pretty. I find that on myself, if I'm trying to wear a shade kind of blurred out from the center going outwards, red tones always look the best on me, and this one is looking really, really pretty. I think it's a very approachable berry red shade because it's not quite berry, it's not quite red, it's somewhere in the middle of that. So if you do tend to feel a little bit nervous about wearing either of those shades, this may be really nice to kind of just sheer out on the lips. Maybe you can pop on a gloss and call it a day. All right, full pigmentation now. And I am pressing my lips together to disperse the color. And it doesn't seem to be taking any color or pigmentation away from the other side. Man, these do get quite messy though, I will say. I've been getting it all over my hands, not just when I've been blurring it out with my fingers. Okay, here is the shade Walk of No Shame. Very beautiful. I think on me it is pulling a little bit more red than it is berry tone, which is fine. It kind of seems like a brick red, like a terracotta red, where it's a little bit more muted. And these shades I find are the most wearable types of reds for myself. If I want to wear a red shade, but I don't want to fully commit to something big and bold, then these are usually something that's really nice right in between for myself. So I like this shade. I think it's really beautiful. It's definitely kind of like a more special occasion, glammed up type of lip color for myself, not like an everyday thing. But when it's blurred out, I think that could actually be more of an everyday look for me. Okay, it definitely stained the back of my hand there. And it also slightly stained my lips. All right, and lastly, we have the shade Flame Blur. And this one is described as an orange red. Ooh, so cool. Okay, here is Flame Blur. How fun is this almost like gradient looking shade? I definitely think for myself, when it comes to blurring it out like this, the more bright shades are a lot easier to do it with than that nude shade and the Pillow Talk medium blur. I feel like those kind of blended in too much to my lips, if that makes sense, to where it didn't really seem like a gradient. It just seemed like a sheer wash of color. Whereas something like this, you can definitely tell has that more blurring effect to it. I think it's really fun, and I actually really like this with my eye look right now. I think that it's nice and subtle, but it's also like a statement on its own. Okay, and full pigmentation now. All right, and here is the shade Flame Blur. What a fun orange red shade. It definitely pulls a little bit more orange on me, and I think that it's a fun pop of color, but you could definitely tone it down by lining your lips with more of a true red shade and using this on the inner part of the lips, and I think that would look really, really pretty. But I also think that this is really pretty on its own. I think that this is a very complimentary shade, actually. I don't really foresee this looking bad on anyone. I think that this is a really fun shade, and they did this one really well. I will say that I kind of prefer this specific shade as more of a blurred out lip. All right, very quickly, I want to talk a little bit through about like my first thoughts and my first impressions. So first impressions, I think that the shades that I chose are all so beautiful. There are none of the 4 shades that I chose that I'm like, I don't think I'll really wear that. I feel like there is an occasion for every shade I picked, which is really exciting because that doesn't happen often where I like all of the shades that I pick out. Secondly, the formulation. I like the way that it feels. It definitely is more of that whipped texture, but it does have a little bit more oil and a little bit more slip in it, where it feels like a silicone type of lip product, which is really interesting to me because I'm trying to think of any other liquid lipsticks that feel this way, and honestly, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments down below because you always make connections with other lipsticks, and I'm always like, duh, how did I not think about that? So you guys are always so helpful with that. So this does definitely have more of a slip to it, but something interesting that doesn't typically happen is that I'm getting it on my teeth a lot. I don't really have that issue with any sort of liquid lipsticks or lipsticks in general. You definitely will have to do the little finger trick, you know, where you take your finger and you just and you get all the excess off. I already did it earlier, so I didn't really have anything come off just now. But you will definitely have to do that if you do tend to have that issue. And if that's the case, maybe reconsider purchasing these because I'm not quite sure how well they'll do as you're like eating and talking and smiling and laughing, you know. I can't say for certain, but I will put in the description box down below if I do notice any more transfer onto the lips. And because it's so emollient, I am going to keep an eye on if this feathers at all. I don't usually have any feathering. That's not really an issue that I run into, but I will be keeping a close eye on it anyways for you. It is quite an expensive lipstick, but I feel like it's kind of expected when it comes to Charlotte Tilbury. The price point on her products are definitely more up there. And I think what draws me to them is one, that more whip texture, and two, the actual shades. I think that these are really fun. They're very pretty. I'm excited to keep using them, and I love the ease of blurring these out on your lips, by the way. I think because it does have more of that moussey texture to it, it makes it a lot easier to actually blend it out with your fingers or maybe a brush, and you're still going to get that even pigmentation. It's not going to be patchy, and it's also not going to dry down too quickly. And I think because of that more oily texture, you're able to blur it out to where it shears itself out towards the tail end of where you're blurring and where the pigment is, you know? So overall, I like these, but you definitely have to be careful if you do experience any transferring or feathering or anything like that. $35 is pretty pricey, so I would not recommend picking up the whole collection. I myself didn't, to be honest, because of that price point. So definitely only pick up the ones that really, really call to you, and hopefully I was able to help you guys figure that out with the 4 shades that I picked up. Let me know in the comments down below if any of the shades that I chose are the ones that you have been eyeing. Also, I just wanted to know, if you guys didn't already know, YouTube did roll out their affiliate program. So on my videos at the bottom, you will see something that says products, and you'll see the products linked right there, and you can shop directly from there. It'll lead you straight to the websites that are linked, and they are affiliate. I do get commission, so if you guys do end up shopping through those links, I really, really appreciate it. But if you don't go through the YouTube affiliate program, then I will always have the links to the products in the description box as well. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you found it helpful. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!